Thanks, Eddie. Thanks for the extra pressure. This is the big one. The tension is mounting, and we talk of big ones, and they don't come any bigger than the champions Wigan, led by their skipper, number 7, Shaun Edwards. Number 1, Chris Radlinski. Number 2, Jason Robinson. 3 is Vawiga Twigamala. 4 is Roy Connolly. Number 5 is Martin O'Fire. Number 6, Henry Paul. 25, Neil Cowie. Number 9, Martin Hall. 10 is Terry O'Connor. 16 is Scott Quinnell. 12 is Mick Cassidy. And 13 is Andy Farrell. And now give a warm welcome to the Wembley finalists, St Helens, led by the skipper, Bobby Goulding. Number 1 is Steve Prescott. Number 14 is Danny Arnold. Number 3 is Scott Gibbs. Number 4, Paul Newlove. Number 5, Anthony Sullivan. And 6 is Carl Hammond. 8 is Apollo Perellini. 9 is Kieran Cunningham. 15, Adam Fogarty. 11 is Chris Joint. 16 is Derek McVeigh. And 23 is Andy Northey.
Teams out, and it's a cauldron of noise, Knowsley Road, as it always is on these occasions. And Bobby Goulding is pumping his players up for what they believe is the ultimate test. The ultimate test because he's up against Shaun Edwards, the most decorated man in the history of the game. This is the way Saints will line up. Prescott at fullback, Arnold, Gibbs, Newlove and Sullivan the three-quarters, Hammond and Goulding the halves. Up front, it's Perellini, Cunningham, Fogarty, Joint and McVeigh the second rows, Andy Northey at the back of the scrum. On the bench, Matautia, Pickavance, Morley and Martin. The coach is Sean McRae. Glorious day at Knowsley Road for this battle of the giants. Wigan, Radlinski, Robinson, Twigamala, Connolly of Fire, Paul and Edwards. Up front, Cowie, Hall, O'Connor, Quinnell, Cassidy, Farrell. And waiting to come on, the youngster Smythe, Skerrett, Johnson and Horton. The coach, of course, is Graham West. Match referee today is Stuart Cummings, who this week got the good news that he will be in charge of the Wembley final, the Challenge Cup final, on the 27th of April. Big games have produced big performances from the referees, and they don't come any bigger than this. The Super League is alive when Saints and Wigan come head-to-head. Here we are at Knowsley Road. St Helens now facing their acid test. First run from dummy half, brought down by Twigamala and Jason Robinson, was Chris Joint. Cunningham gives it to Fogarty, 10 metres inside his own half of the field. Cunningham in a dummy half again. The runner there is the number 16, Derek McVeigh. First touch for the Australian in this derby clash. Penalty as Cunningham gained valuable yards. Mick Cassidy didn't get out of the way.
He never went back the full 10. And this is a good start by the Saints. It's all about composure in big games. And a penalty early in the piece. They will settle down the nerves.
Well, the crowd at Knowsley Road today, you see there that Cassidy just didn't retire the 10 metres. The crowd is in magnificent voice. There's well over 25,000, I would say, inside the ground. They are jam-packed in the stadium. It's a wonderful atmosphere. And this would be a perfect start for St Helens if Bobby Goulding could land this penalty. 9 successful kicks against Workington at the weekend. First shot at goal for Goulding today. Hits the post. Play on. Henry Paul picks up the pieces for Wigan. Still Paul, great run, closed down eventually by Hammond and Joint.
It shows you the importance of getting all set up on the set pieces. You've got to be aware there's always a possibility that the ball will bounce off the uprights. And you could see that Henry Paul was positioned well. He was facing the post, not the kicker.
Quinnell was tackled, he plays the ball to Hall, he finds Edwards, who finds Paul, and there's Twiggamala. Twiggamala is dumped to the floor by St Helens. Of course, it's so unusual at this time of the year. St Helens looking forward to Wembley, where they will face the Bradford Bulls. Normally, it is Wigan who are on the way down south, but not so this year. Wigan's pride stung, but my word, they showed in their match at Oldham last Saturday evening that they mean business in Super League.
That looked pretty high there. Scott Quinnell appeared to go over the shoulder. The crowd went up. The referee had nothing to do with it at all. There it goes. You can see that it was definitely over the top of the shoulder.
Here now is Paul Newlove. His battle with Gary Connolly will be crucial to today's outcome. Cunningham and McVeigh once again pitched into this white-hot atmosphere at Knowsley Road because of the injury to young Andy Leatham. Goulding, former Wigan player, of course. Chris Joint. Such a belief in this part of the world that St Helens, the team who might well take over the Wigan mantle. Goulding. Grubber kicks one through. A fire spills it. But the referee has got Saints offside. They were all standing, he says, in front of the kick as Goulding put the Grubber kick through.
Difficult call. You'll see clearly on the high shot. Well, yep, the winger, definitely. It was Arnold that just sneaked through. Bobby Goulding having a word to the winger, saying, get back. That was an opportunity missed there. Martin Afire made a real meal of that.
Cowie to Quinnell. Quinnell, the man who scored 4 tries. Afire, he lost the ball when he fielded the kick through. Quinnell, 4 tries the last time these two met on Boxing Day. That, of course, was in the Centenary Championship. They've met since in the Regal Trophy final, which Wigan won. Saints still smarting about that. Edwards, McVeigh was there to meet him head on. He felt
it as well, did Edwards. It was well spotted by McVeigh. Put his body behind that one. That's a great bomb.
It bounces back. Afire picks up the pieces. It's still last tackle. This is Radlinski. Dumps the ball over the top. Connolly is there, but so too was Steve Prescott. The referee now wipes the tackle count down. 6 more here for Wigan. They're in control with Cowie. Important moments here for the St Helens defence. First time, really, they have been pressured this afternoon. The diagonal run coming in.
Oh, a swinging arm there. And in the previous tackle, Perolini really got into Cowie. This is hotting up. The forwards really are getting into each other.
Martin Hall to Edwards. He helps it wide to Henry Paul, who jinks in field. Gives it then to O'Connor. Her big hole opened up the middle for O'Connor, and he scores. What a soft try for the Saints to concede. And Terry O'Connor, with blood streaming from the nose, he gets his first Super League try. But Saints, there was a gap so wide.
He won't mind it, O'Connor, the prop forward, walking around with a claret running out of the nose. But this man, Paul, he just jinks in and out. Now then, was that a shepherd? On the replay there, Twiggamala, a half shepherd. They keep the ball alive. Paul, quicksilver step. But was that, well, there's nothing that Joint could do about that. And Twiggamala, for mine, was stood in front. Well, was he used as a shepherd or a foil? Either way, Stuart Cummings said it was okay. But what a start for Wigan. Look at the determination there. You could see how he just dipped so the impact would take the would-be tackler away. Good work there.
O'Connor with the try, Henry Paul with the conversion from bang in front, and Wigan have a 6-point lead. The first time that they have been in the St Helens half of the field, and they have come up with a try and the conversion. O'Connor's all patched up. The blood has stopped flowing. He takes his place back in the line, and he's got the 4 points for himself and his team, added to by the conversion from Henry Paul. Kick off, and Goulding's underneath it. Edwards round him immediately. Did enough just to put him off. Twigamala and Cowie finished him off.
Well, they got the benefit of the doubt there, but St Helens, they were caught just stopping. They thought it was going to be blown up. You must play to the whistle. You can't afford to just stand around there. And O'Connor just strolled in underneath the post.
That's Adam Fogarty. Tries to get the pass away to Perolini, and Henry Paul picked it up. Dabbed it backwards with the hand. It went backwards, and then he took it on the bounce. Great play.
Indisciplined there by Fogarty so early in the tackle count. Trying to force a pass when it was never on.
Farrell releases the pass one-handed to Martin Hall, who disappears under the challenge. Farrell again to the try scorer, O'Connor. Well, it's raw bone stuff in the opening 7.5 minutes here. Edwards. Crowd just goes silent, waiting to see what happens with this Wigan attack. Twigamala, they surrounded him.
Will we see the kick now from Shaun Edwards?
There he is. Looked forward. The referee agrees. The pass to Radlinski was forward.
Well spotted there by Stuart Cummins. He saw that before the crowd could even shout. They're pretty vocal here. And it looks like Bobby Goulding caught one for his corner. Clash of heads, I think, with Radlinski. He's a bit shaky.
Receiving treatment, they have stopped the clock. Stuart Cummins has called time off while Goulding just regathers his senses. Struts in now and feeds the scrum. Carl Hammond, who came to St Helens from the Widnes Club. £85,000. Here's the Welshman now, Scott Gibbs, forming quite a partnership with Paul Newlove in the centre for the Saints.
This Wigan defence is extremely quick moving forward. They're not allowing St Helens to get into any pattern whatsoever. Interference at the play of the ball.
And Cassidy back-chatting, he's been marched 10 metres.
Well, Graham West won't like that. It's very unusual to find a Wigan player back-chatting to the referee.
Referee has called time off here. He wants Cassidy to come to him and take a lecture. St Helens wanting to get on with it quickly.
Calling the skipper now, Shaun Edwards.
And Bobby Goulding, he's coming to him as well. Tension out there. It's crackling, Steve-O.
Sure is. A lot of verbals out there also. Early in the game, it happens all the time. Players do have a tendency to say a few words to each other, and they're not very kind, I can assure you.
Packed stadium. Lots and lots at stake. Cassidy just back-chatting the referee. This is why the Saints are in this position with Perolini.
Will we see the first link from the Saints?
Possibilities here for McVeigh. He's a big Australian, is Derek McVeigh. Sean McRae has high hopes of him. This is Hammond. Carl Hammond, tackled by Twigamala, and again, and being pulled back by Twigamala with a little bit of help from O'Connor. Kieran Cunningham in at dummy half. He gives it to Joint, the big man, who finds Newlove. Newlove out wide. Sullivan drops it. Well, that was try time had Sullivan held on to the football.
Great play by Newlove, but was it forward? No, it looked okay. Squeezed it out there, and Sullivan missed a golden opportunity. Strong work from Newlove. Upper body strength there, got his way through the tackle. Released the football, but to no avail. You've got to take your chances.
Referee rightly is putting Terry O'Connor in the blood bin. And so Kelvin Skerritt comes on. That's prop forward for prop forward. The referee, Stuart Cummins, has said to O'Connor he wants the bleeding stopped and he wants it sorted quickly. Twigamala. That was so close for Scott Gibbs. Got a hand to it, but knocked the ball forward.
Took a big gamble there, did Scott Gibbs, the Welshman. Look at that. They had a Connolly and Radlinski out wide. That could have been try time. To be fair, though, to Gibbs, he did make sure that the ball went dead. They really did have the overlap there, Wigan.
Wigan then in possession with Cassidy. Gets the pass away to Skerritt. He's met immediately by Fogarty and by Cunningham. must say, Skerritt, when he came on as a substitute against Oldham last week, he looked back to his best, and he looks at Fogarty quite ruefully then. Here's Cowie now.
Good defence, they push Wigan back. Both sides are finding it very difficult to get over this advantage line because both defences are moving up quickly. Stuart Cummins is doing his best to get them back the full 10.
The ball helped on, quick hands by Wigan, and it's with a fire, but the referee took a look at the touch judge far side. He's pulled them back, I think. He's pulled them back for the knock-on.
Either the forward pass, perhaps. Long ball out wide, there's Henry Paul. Well, he's deemed that that went forward. And that did go forward too. No, it looks all right there from Paul. Maybe that was dubious, the last one there. And that certainly was. Well, it's plenty to choose from.
Saints are in possession. Prescott, but what a tackle from Twigamala. An interference in the play, the ball by Henry Paul. Oh, the referee's given the knock-on.
Oh, I can't believe that. There was definite second attempt at the tackle. Prescott was tackled. There he is. He's down now. And then he wants to get up to it. And Twigamala flips him. And so does Henry Paul. Well, they've been badly done to on that occasion.
There's a big call by Stuart Cummins. Wigan are in possession again with Cassidy. Goulding was after him like a terrier. Hall picked up the pieces. The noise level rises inside Knowsley Road. Robinson gets away from McVeigh, but can't get away from Perolini. And he says to Jason Robinson, try standing up, so he's lenient both sides. This is Quinnell. 10 metres inside the St Helens half of the field.
Fogarty really took out Edwards then. Edwards got up and looked at the touch judge. That's a bad mistake from Cassidy. The nerves are jingling. It's tingling stuff out there. They're putting their body on the line.
And as a fire kicked that ball through, Bobby Goulding took a smack at him. The referee had blown for the penalty to St Helens, but this is where there's a little bit of nastiness.
A little bit? Geez, I'd hate to be around when he starts doing a lot. That was stupid play from both sides. Oh, he's got to keep a tight hold of this as the referee Cummins. It could explode at any time.
Sullivan. Cunningham, the dummy half. Here's Perolini. Tackled by Cassidy and Cowie and company.
These guys are putting their body on the line.
McVeigh spins in the tackle, gets it away to Gibbs. Gibbs for the line. And Wigan desperately hold him out just short. And Cassidy got a hand to that.
That's got to be back to 6, and it is.
And he's waved it down. So 6 more tackles here for St Helens. They've no need to panic. Andy Northey. 5 metres short. Goulding. Oh, he lost it. Farrell came up with it. The referee will pull them back for the knock-on. First knock-on. And it's going to be Wigan's feed.
Well, a big charge there by the big loose forward. And you could see that Bobby Goulding had lost control of that. That's why it was deemed that St Helens had knocked on. The ball does not have to hit the ground. If he loses control and it's going forward, that's why the crowd was going bananas over it. But it's the right decision by the referee, Cummins.
This is now Radlinski. Quick play the ball from Wigan. Penalty against Prescott. He was not standing square. You've got to stand square at the play the ball before making any attempt at the tackle.
See
Prescott there, nowhere near Steve-O.
Yep, good decision, but it doesn't surprise me that the referee Stuart Cummins is having a lot of trouble with this game because it is played at a ferocious speed. They want to get on with it quickly, quick play the balls, hoping to try to catch out the defence. It's a hard time there for the merry whistleblower.
Cowie looks at the referee. He says play on. Farrell gives it to Hall, who in turn finds Quinnell, who sets off down the middle. He gets away from Goulding. He gets away from Prescott.
It was a bad miss by Andy Northey there to allow the big fella through. It's those missed tackles that can prove so costly.
This is Robinson. That's 4 tackles gone. They're 10 metres short of the line again. Another test of this St Helens defence. Paul, Henry Paul. They just closed the door. A good job they did too. Cunningham's tackle, and they're over again. Referee takes a look. Tries given, and it's Vaiga Twigamala. Well, he has been a thorn in the St Helens side since he arrived on the Wigan scene, and so again today on Good Friday.
Beautiful play, the switch there, but Henry Paul, look how he steps inside. From this moment on, they were always going to be stretched Saints. And the big fella squeezes over, but put that down to a great break from Scott Quinnell. It was a bad missed tackle by Andy Northey that put him in this position. Super stuff. He's so hard to stop. Kept himself low. The big man over for another 4.
Inga the winger, his 30th consecutive appearance today. A try in the Regal Trophy, a try in both league meetings last season, and a try here in the sunshine of Good Friday. Wigan have been in the St Helens quarter twice, and they've come up with tries on each occasion. But Henry Paul has missed with the conversion. Runs away a touch disgusted. 10 points to 0. Champions lead.
There's Quinnell coming through. Northey must have him. He misses him. You can see he went far too high. It was a great run there by Quinnell. And from this moment on, Saints were backpedaling, and they paid the price.
Goulding under pressure from Robinson. They have the ball back again, but the referee will pull them back. First knock on again. And it was a Wigan knock on the first one, so Saints head and feet at the scrum.
Great tackle there by Robinson. Under a lot of pressure, Bobby Goulding. Both sides meaning business.
Paul Newlove. Henry Paul hanging on to his shorts.
Well, this referee has got to start doing something about this, all this messing around. He's supposed to release them straight away. You can see Farrell, they're all over the top. They're going to spoil this game if he doesn't get on top of it. A lot of messing around there at the play the ball area.
Danny Arnold was held, he played the ball eventually. This is Cunningham. Kieran Cunningham, a lovely break down the right-hand side. Well watched, though, by Carrie Connolly. Former St Helens player, of course, Connolly. Good ball to Newlove, but as he collected the ball, he collected the tackle from Robinson, too.
What great vision there by Robinson. Came right off the touchline. Make sure he took out the big centre.
High kick from Goulding on the last tackle. Radlinski's after it. Oh, he comes up with it like a leaping salmon.
Tremendous stuff there. Notice how the knees came up to protect the man as he took the football, but the eyes were always going to get on that leather.
Afire got knees in the back. Andy Northey saying, get up and let's get on with it. But Afire is hurt.
Well, I just take it to 1 metre away from the injured player. This is the incident. Perhaps stray knees getting in there. Game goes on. Afire gets treatment.
And Simon Horton is warming up on the touchline in case Afire can't make it. He's still down, Martin Afire, as this attack builds with Edwards to Cowie. Looks round, no support there. Cowie has to take the tackle.
No one to finish him off either. Good work by Carl Hammond, but he should have been banged down.
Here's Twigamala fed by Edwards. The tackle from Joint was missed. He gets the ball away. Saints have it back with Joint. Edwards comes in on Chris Joint and finishes him off.
What a great run. Would you like this coming to you? I wouldn't. Oh, that is fear. From my part, not from his part. What a sight.
Apollo Perolini takes it up for St Helens towards halfway, midway through the first half. Pitch side is Bill.
A lot of concern on the Wigan bench about Martin Afire now. He's still down. The signal from the physio, Peter Harvey, is that he won't be coming back. He won't be allowed to continue. In fact, they've just signalled for the stretcher. So it looks as though that injury is quite serious to Martin Afire. Rob Smythe is stripped and ready to come on. Dave Fever, ex-Wigan physio, alongside me. It's just a frenetic pace, isn't it?
Yeah, the pace is unbelievable. I mean, it's typical of a St Helens Wigan game. On a day like this, it's even better for open play.
And what about Wigan's start to this and Saints' response?
Oh, the start's been typical Wigan. You know, they've opened up, they've held them, and then they've come out and attacked and scored when they needed to.
Can you see signs of Saints getting back into this?
I certainly don't think they're out of it. If they score before half-time and the crowd behind them, then they've got as good a chance as any.
Thanks, Dave. Well, the stretcher coming out for Martin Offiah now. It's an injury to the bottom of his back, to the side, I think, and Simon Horton now on the touchline as well.
Yes, Horton and Smythe there, waiting to see who gets the signal. This is the injury, and it was the knees of Andy Northey, I think, that caught Martin Offiah in the kidney area, Steve-O.
Yeah, twists round and he's got his back to the player. It's always a dodgy area there. Now you see Northey saying, get up, play the ball. Well, he's in a lot of pain. Let's hope he's okay. He's not too seriously injured. But he's grimacing there is Martin Offiah. This will be a big blow to the Wigan side.
Rob Smythe, the youngster, wing, fullback or centre, an academy international, and with England in the Fiji Nines, is about to come on, I think, to replace Martin Offiah. Terry O'Connor is coming back out of the blood bin, and he will replace Kelvin Skerrett. Meanwhile, this long break in play as O'Connor returns. The long break in play as Offiah gets taken off on a stretcher, and that is a sad sight on any sporting arena. Rob Smythe is the man who comes on to replace him on the wing, and Offiah certainly with problems after knees in the back. Accidental, though, I think it must be said by Andy Northey. He was committed to the tackle, and as you said, Steve-O, Offiah twisted and his back came round. But he's in pain, he's in agony.
Doesn't look well at all. Not a great sight. And let's wish him well. It's a matter of regrouping now on both sides. Wigan, of course, having one of their stars taken from the field, but St Helens, their coach, Sean McRae, must be getting the message out to him, say, come on, get back into the pattern. It's been very ragged at the moment. They really have not got into the game plan as yet.
Maybe they will now. Out the back door, Fogarty picks it up, takes on Henry Paul, and he actually fell then over Chris Joynt, who was trying to regather his feet to support the attack. This, though, is a great opportunity for McVeigh. Gets the pass out wide. Try! Danny Arnold! And what a record this young man has got in scoring tries. 4 tries against Workington on Sunday. That's 5 in the Super League already. Arnold puts Saints back in the hunt.
That's his really rubbing salt into the wound. They score in the corner where Martin Offiah would have been. He's been stretchered off, but good play by McVeigh. This is strength. See how he sucks them towards him. Connolly, who is very strong in the upper body department. Beautiful flick pass there. Smythe was in attendance, but this is excellent work. Danny Arnold. Never give up the ghost. Always lunge forward if you feel you've got the strength. But what great play by the second row, McVeigh. Super stuff. What a way to bounce back.
Danny Arnold, and what a try-scoring record this young man has got. 19 tries now from 18 games, and what's more, he has scored hat-tricks in his last 2 appearances for the Saints. Conversions on its way. Goulding misses, but he knows his team are back in a match that was in danger of slipping away from them.
This is the first time that Goulding has sent the ball with a real purpose on the link. And look how the big fella goes to him. That was great work by the second rower. And let's not take anything away from this youngster. Great try. He knew exactly the way to go to the line. What a season he's having so far.
Indeed so. He's a big star of the future. He's a star already in Super League. Radlinski could only trap that with the boot, and it was a very difficult bouncing, spinning ball. He couldn't get to it, and so the Saints are now inside the Wigan quarter line. 23 minutes gone. St Helens 4, Wigan 10, and Saints will have been really encouraged by that try from the young winger. Here, though, is Farrell, and now Twigger-Marlowe's a real handful. Look at him. Oh, he gave the pass straight into the arms of Hammond, and Sullivan cuts in field. O'Connor cuts him down.
Good play by Sullivan there. He knew there was no way on the outside. The touchline he most certainly would have been pushed into. The cover defence from Wigan was strong. Will we see the kick from Bobby Goulding now?
It's only on the third tackle, and there is the kick. Into the corner for Arnold to chase. Just too strong. Well, have you been on the coaching session, Steve-O?
He's a pass master at this, Bobby Goulding. He won't be happy with it. He knows it's just a little bit too strong. He tries to kick it with a backward motion to try to get the ball spinning in a backward area. Didn't quite get it right. As we know so often that a rugby league ball can bounce back at any given time.
Well, Wigan enjoying the better of the possession and enjoying a scoreline of 10 points to 4 at the moment. But that was a very early kick in the tackle count, Steve-O, only on the third.
It was worth the gamble, though, because Wigan were all 6s and 7s. You notice they didn't have a sweeper there, and it just wasn't right, the kick.
This is Edwards. Well, a match that is living up this time to all the pre-match hype and expectation. Henry Paul with a kick through. It bounced off the knees of Prescott, and he also got a hand to it as well. 6 to go.
If he commits himself to go for the football, and that's what Prescott did, you've got to make sure you get it. Possession is vital there. It was a good kick by Paul. Bobby Goulding normally takes a sweeping role, and he wasn't in attendance then. That's forward.
O'Connor to Farrell to Hall. He's given it.
Oh,
it's a try.
Dearie me today. Well, that, I'm afraid, will really set the fans talking.
Well, it will when they take a look at our big screen here at Knowsley Road, because they screamed for a forward pass. You agreed with them, and watch this.
Well, it was so delayed there. You could see that Farrell was a yard in front. I know he went back for it. Well, I just cannot believe that. The body motion, oh, dearie me. Now, what a way to score a try. You talk about size. Look at Bobby Goulding's face. He's looking at the referee, Stuart Cummins, and saying, you're kidding. Oh, dearie me. Well, what more can I say? It will not bring back the 4 points. He's happy. Let's not take it away from the hooker, Martin Hall. He said, I've got it underneath the sticks, mate. Read it in the newspapers. Controversial stuff.
And from bang in front, Henry Paul makes no mistake. We're going to have a 16-4 lead. And this big screen in the stadium that we have on all our live matches on Sky Sports was the centre of attention then. They all screamed for forward. They saw it again. And every finger in the ground was pointing at the screen and pointing to Stuart Cummins. The referee is under intense pressure.
Sure is. Andy Farrell. Well, he was halfway to Warrington when he came back and got that one.
Chris Joynt with the run, halted. Hammond drills it all along the ground. That will gain some valuable metres for the Saints, but they are still talking about the forward pass that never was.
Well, the fans can talk about it, but it's important that St. Helens forget about it. Bobby Goulding has to really lift his troops now. Say, come on, let's get that back. Okay, the referee may have made a mistake. Put it behind you now.
Wigan's head and feet at that scrum. Hammond was the man who drilled the ball out. Let's have another look at this forward pass.
No doubt.
Well, it doesn't matter whether it was forward, backwards or a line ball. It's in the papers now. 16-4, Wigan lead. But a team like that, Steve-O, they don't need any charity.
No, it really is a bitter blow to St. Helens. And it's going to be a test of their character now.
Both sides making changes. Horton's on for Wigan, and Pickavant, you may have noticed, has come on for the Saints.
Good play by Wigan, though. They're slowing things down. They're in no rush at all with a lead of 16-4. Why should there be? Not the best kick, though, from Edwards.
No, right down the throat of Steve Prescott, who saw Cassidy and Horton coming in to close him down. Applied the brakes. First tackle. This now is Andy Northey.
Well, I know this Wigan defence is pretty quick, and so is St. Helens, but look at that. They really are getting a start off the mark. He's having a lot of problems with Stuart Cummings today. The pressure, was Edwards offside then? I know he's fast.
Pickavance on halfway. Cunningham is tackled from behind by Farrell, not completed, so Horton will have to do the job. Not completed, so it's left to Edwards. Great run from the hooker.
Well, a rolling stone gathers no moss, but it picked up Edwards in the end then.
McVeigh again, and it's back to 0 on the tackle count for St Helens. A Wigan hand got into that. This is Hammond. Carl Hammond gets the pass away to Scott Gibbs. Over the top out wide. Arnold again. 2 for Arnold. The Saints have hit back. This remarkable scoring record for Danny Arnold continues apace.
Boy, oh boy, are we in for a classic here. Hammond picked it right. Wigan were all at sea on the blind side, but what good work by the Welshman, Scott Gibbs. And this kid, oh, he's come out of nowhere. Have we got a star in this wingman? Tremendous stuff. Danny Arnold into the corner. No one at home. That's why Wigan were all at sea. Rydlinski was far too late. But wonderful play by the hooker Cunningham. They couldn't get him down. Roly-poly stuff. Sheer determination. And so is this. Saints are not going to throw the towel in.
Well, what an embarrassment of riches Sean McRae has got for his right-wing spot for Wembley. Arnold, Hayes or Hunt if he's fit. Goulding, with kicking like that, puts the Saints back in touching distance. 16-10. And come on, he says.
Look at the Wigan man circle, screaming for the defence to get back. And he sucks them through. Beautiful work there by Hammond. Gibbs does the rest. Let's get in the corner. Danny Arnold, the sweetheart of St Helens at the moment.
Indeed so, and what a superb touchline conversion from Bobby Goulding, the man who restarts. But Steve-O, let's just hark back to that forward pass. The referee, although he was under pressure from the crowd, he cannot call for video evidence to decide forward passes. That's a matter of judgment.
Yep. And he has to be the sole judge on matters of that nature. Let's hope that it evens itself out during the game. They normally do.
Well, I'll tell you what now, every time the ball, and that's a knock-on. The touch judge has spotted that, but every time the ball now is passed by a Wigan player, this crowd is screaming for forward.
Or if it drops to the floor like that. 13 Saints players looked at the touch judge and said, he knocked on. They do well, those Saints, to ignore that. They can't referee the game themselves. Get on with the game, job in hand.
Cowie has gone off. He's been replaced by Kelvin Skerrett. Meanwhile, it's joint on the halfway line for the Saints. Confirming that change made by Sean McRae. Great ball that was. This is Cunningham, who is starting to tear the Wigan defence to pieces. It was a lovely pass to him, though. And the pass came from Pickavance, the substitute. Sullivan.
Keeping the ball alive, Pickavance. Saints are running hot. The big forwards. This McVeigh's having a whale of a game.
Sean McRae had no doubts about pitching him in, and that was a lovely reverse pass from Goulding to Gibbs. He's dropped it.
That should be a penalty. There were 2 men in attendance there. The ball was reefed out. You can only do that one man. There you see Rydlinski's involved in it, and that was definitely ripped away. Oh, controversy continues here.
Yes, Saints denied a penalty there. 3 tackles gone. Let's take a look at how things are going here. 89 tackles to 81 by the Saints. Saints have missed 16 tackles to Wigan's 5. Wigan have carried the ball up and bounced through the tacklers 3 times, and they've hit it up. Saints 56, Wigan 64. It's going Wigan's way at the moment. Twiggamala gets the pass away to Connolly. This is Henry Paul. Good defence, though. Newlove in there quickly. And well, so too was Carl Hammond.
Well, to have so many missed tackles, the Saints side, and only be 6 points adrift, they can feel very pleased with themselves. The hooker says, let's get out of here. The pressure is building.
Well, Wigan, of course, playing on without the injured Martin Offiah. He is in the dressing room. Let's get some news of him from Bill.
In fact, the latest news is that Martin Offiah will be on his way to hospital shortly. He had a knee in the lower back, according to the Wigan doctor. He's in a lot of pain, is having spasms, and so as a precaution, well, to see what the damage is, they're taking him to hospital. So that's bad news from the Wigan camp. Dave Fever, the former Wigan physio, alongside me. Dave, what about this St Helens response?
Well, as we said before, as soon as they get a score, they're back in it again, and the way they're showing up to half-time, they're in with every chance of levelling it before then.
It's a cracking match. You must miss this.
Yeah, the atmosphere is as electric as been at Old Trafford on days like this. So, yeah, it's very different to what it is in the United situation.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, it's a war, isn't it? That's what we've got here on the field. And St Helens have got a penalty, and they've taken it quickly, and this is Pickavance. Pickavance taking on Radlinski. Still going, Pickavance. Oh, the spirit, the courage and the commitment. Cunningham gets the pass away. Cunningham in support, will score! Kieran Cunningham scores! Cunningham, the man who really has, in the past quarter of an hour, stamped his authority on this match.
Forward power, Pickavance put them in this position. Cunningham and Derry McVeigh is having the time of his life. He's really enjoying this, and so is the hooker. What a way to bounce back, but put that down to the substitute, Ian Pickavance. He just blitzed this Wigan defence out of the way. Great play there. Oh, super opportunist try. Look how McVeigh turns in the tackle. He's offloaded well this first half. He fends off Cassidy. You don't see that all too often. The strength of Cunningham. Boy, have we got a game here.
We have. If Goulding slots this conversion over, the scores will be level. It's 16-14. Cunningham picking up from the Regal Trophy final, whereas man of the match. He's hit the post again. That's two. And he can't believe it, Bobby Goulding. 16-14, Wigan ahead. Man of the match, Regal Trophy final, Kieran Cunningham. Had a wow of a game that day, the 19-year-old Welshman, and he has picked up the momentum here today. 19, Steve-O, we are blessed with some wonderful talent.
Tremendous hooker. Loves nothing better than run from dummy half. He hasn't done too many of that, mainly because Saints have struggled to go through their full complement of 6. But with only 2 points adrift now, it'll be a sigh of relief for their coach, Sean McRae, because he'll have plenty to say, especially in defence. Once they get the defence sorted out, they could really start taking the control. Wigan have just gone to sleep at the moment.
This is Farrell, though, trying to wake them from their slumbers. Hall is the man in the dummy half. He is Edwards. Misses out Cassidy, misses out Horton, takes control himself. That looked a touch forward also. Saints don't need to worry, neither does Stuart Cummings. The ball stolen, though, in a two-man tackle.
Well, he saw that.
Saints.
He saw that one, did Stuart Cummings. There you see that Connolly was touching the player. Wasn't too impressed about it, but a quick tap by Goulding.
Who finds Sullivan. Sullivan will take Robinson on the outside. Newlove has gone into dummy half. The strength of Newlove now.
He's a man that's really got to lift his game. He's done very little so far.
The most costly player in the world of rugby league. £500,000. Chris Joint takes St Helens to within 10 metres of the Wigan line again. Goulding. Perolini.
Great defence there. Skerritt, beautiful strength there. Simon Horton helping out. Oh, it's just great stuff, this.
Last one for St Helens. Goulding in control again. It will bounce in front of Newlove. He took a gamble. He's being pushed all the way back to by Twiggamala. Twiggamala tried to reach the ball away from him. They keep the movement going, so Prescott will hoist the kick. Who wants it? Prescott does. McVeigh out wide to Hammond. Out wide looking for Arnold again. But he only found the touchline. But they're prepared to take risks and gambles.
On the last tackle, why not? Not the hero on this occasion, Danny Arnold. It was not the best pass.
Saints caught offside.
But what a pace that this game has been played. Warm conditions out there, fitness. That will hold a key in the second half.
Henry Paul, a slap from Hammond.
It wasn't a slap from Perellini. He drove him right into the ground.
Cassidy, the dummy half. Skerritt puffs out the cheeks, takes on Joint, bounces off him, takes on Cunningham, bounces off him. Oh! Joint came in with another tackle. Sullivan's there, so too Cunningham.
Looked pretty high as well. Skerritt won't like it. Oh, the eyes are looking. Joint is going a bit over the top.
O'Connor goes down under the challenge, 10 metres inside the Saints' half of the field. Martin Hall in a dummy half to Edwards. Misses out Farrell. Tries to go round the back, but McVeigh was having none of that. Robinson now scampers away from dummy half. That's the last tackle for Wigan.
It's vital Saints really regroup now. Wigan are pass master to scoring in the final seconds of the first half.
20 seconds to go, first half. Prescott comes up with it. That's the danger gone for the Saints. They have the ball back. It's stick it up the jumper time now. They'll turn around with a 2-point deficit and will be pleased with that.
What a great take by Prescott. He's come on a bundle, hasn't he?
Hammond almost through.
Blindside's open.
Newlove was the dummy half. And there's the half-time siren. What a 40 minutes we have had in the sunshine here. And what a 40 minutes for Danny Arnold, who scored 2 tries, who has brought him back into this match with St Helens with a vengeance. Tuigamala with one of the 3 Wigan tries. But the Saints, led by Bobby Goulding, have matched them all the way, try for try. And it's only the thickness of a post twice that has denied the Saints a lead. 14-6 at half-time. We promised you a classic. The Super League delivers.
Quiz, hotshot. There's a bomb on a bus. Once the bus goes 50 miles an hour, the bomb is armed. If it drops below 50, it blows up. What do you do? What do you do?
The British TV premiere of Speed, 10 o'clock Saturday on the Movie Channel.
Get up! You got nowhere to go!
Speed, just one of 43 premieres on Sky's 3 great movie channels in April.
Call 0990 10 20 30 and we'll switch you on.
Io mi rimetto qui, così la televisione non la guardi, va bene? Non la guardi! Stanca! Ascoltami, guardami! Ma perché? Sai che schifo? Cavolo di te! Te le butto!
No, le scarpe no.
Okay, number 27. Your time's up. New Polycell Liquid Advance. Mixes quickly, guaranteed, lump-free. Suits all papers. No drips, so smooth. It slides, sticks, and stays stuck. New Polycell Liquid Advance. Guaranteed, lump-free. Polycell, take on the house and win.
For the latest low prices on electrical products, use the Comet Price Index every Saturday in every tabloid and on teletext. The Comet Price Index. Better come to Comet.
So, I said to him, only if you warm your hands. I always enjoy going round to my friend Rita's. In her day, she could have any man she wanted, and she wanted quite a few. Well, I thought she was past all that malarkey, until I heard...
It's me, Romeo.
Turns out it's a fella sent by British Gas. They run this free scheme for people on their own like Rita, where you can choose your own password. So when the man calls, you know he is who he says he is.
You thought I had a fancy man, didn't you?
No, did I,
Good afternoon.
British Gas, the password scheme.
Oh, lovely.
Hello, Michael Casey, B&Q Longstone. Can I tell you about something we're doing B&Q just now? It's called Key Season Price. What it means is a seasonal product that you want to buy now at the lowest possible price. In fact, we feel so confident about it that if you can get these products for less, we will refund double the difference. I've been at B&Q now for about 5 years, and we've never had a better offer. I should know. I'm a Scotsman.
You can do it when you B&Q it.
What a match we have here in the Super League. The Saints against Wigan, 14-16 at half-time. 3 tries apiece, Goulding with 1 goal, Henry Paul with 2, and the thickness of a piece of wood between the Saints and a 2-point advantage at half-time. Goulding's hit the post twice with his kicks. I can tell you the one thing that is on everybody's lips as we made our way from the gantry to the studio was the forward pass that led to Martin Hall's try. Difficult for the referee. He cannot call for video evidence on this, but will Farrell reach back? Well, he reached back, but he was stood in front, Steve-O, and that's where it's a problem for the referee.
Not in my mind. I thought the ball was projected forward. Farrell was well and truly on his way through. You see a little bit clearly now from the high shot. Now watch for Farrell going through under the gap. He's well clear, and then the ball is forward, even though he's stretched back for it. That was at least 6 or 7 inches forward, and that is a big margin in this game. You can see that the referee, pretty difficult there for Stuart Cummins. He has to be stood in that position, of course. He's got to take back the St. Helens defence, especially if there's going to be a quick play of the ball. But the crowd have gone bananas.
They certainly have, and they've let us know exactly what they think as well during the course of our journey from gantry to the studio. Paul Parker of Manchester United and England is our special guest on the programme today as we spread the gospel about the Super League to the boys of the Premiership. You have been used to some magnificent atmospheres at Old Trafford. How does this compare?
I'd put it on the same par, really. Enthusiastic everyone is about it. And just the way, just actually sitting there watching it and watching everyone from the box, I absolutely just love it.
No wonder you didn't want to take this game up, eh? It's ferocious, isn't it?
It's a bit too much for me.
I can see the fear in your eyes.
I'm happy what I'm doing now, to be honest.
But you've got to be impressed with the skills and the way that they get through these tight situations.
Oh, yeah, it's actually brilliant, some of the footwork. I wouldn't mind some of it myself, really. But it's good. Actually, everything about it is brilliant.
And at the moment, for you as a Wigan fan, it's going according to plan?
It was going all right, but I think with Martin going off, I lost their momentum a bit. And he actually lost a try straight after, and it put them back on their heels a little bit. But I think second half will come out, and I think they'll be a lot stronger.
It was a nasty knee in the back for Martin Afire, wasn't it? And he went down and he never moved. He's on his way to hospital now.
Yeah, I'd imagine, I mean, I'm just guesswork here, but it might be just more of a spasm thing more than, especially being in the back, you can't really take that, you can't take a chance, but hopefully it will just sort itself out by the time it gets to the hospital.
Steve-O, we said right on the stroke of half-time that the Super League today really is delivering. This is what the Super League's all about. Contests like this, on days like this, with sunshine and a huge crowd.
Well, I've nearly lost my voice. I know it may please quite a few people, but look, it's excitement personified. It really has been a tremendous first half. How many years in the past have we seen St. Helens when Wigan take a lead? They were 10 points in front. Normally, the old St. Helens, they probably would have gone, they'd have thrown the towel in. But not now. They really showed a lot of courage. And once they sort out their defence, missing far too many tackles for their coach and for the team and for their fans.
Well, they'll be pleased that they're only 2 points adrift at half-time, but let's take a look at how Steve-O's battlers are doing in this match so far. The first one we take a look at is Joint against Farrell up front, Steve-O.
I'd have to say that Chris Joint, mainly because he's making the good yards. Andrew Farrell, like we saw against Oldham last weekend, is being used really as a battering ram. Maybe to try to get the three-quarter line going, but I'm afraid it's not working. Stuart Cummins has to get these players back. He's been a little bit lenient. I think he's got to change his tactics. Take them back 12, I don't care. But in the first 20 minutes, he was spoiling the game.
Well, let's now take a look at how the other battle is going between the two best centres in the world, Newlove and Connolly. Newlove's made 8 tackles, they both missed a couple, and look at the times that Newlove has taken the ball up in the hit-ups.
Well, it's obvious that the St Helens side are in a little bit of a quandary at the moment, and when you've got to use your centre to actually do the hard work. Gary Connolly, really, the biggest problem with that is that they're not getting their link. Sean Edwards and Paul normally get the ball out wide. We've seen very little of that in the first half. I think that will change. We saw a little bit of that when Henry Paul had the little kick over the top. I think we'll see more little chips over because he saw that Bobby Goulding was not in the sweeping position.
It's a match that really is up for winning in the second 40 minutes. Now then, another chance for you to enter the interactive Super League on Sky Sports. Just another reminder for you, have a look at Fast Text page 113 for all the details. Scoring begins on April the 12th. You can enter a dream team in the interactive Super League and you can possibly win yourself £1,000. Scoring begins April 12. Fast Text 113. Now we have 1 or 2 half-time scores to bring you. Oldham 16, Halifax 10, and Warrington 18, Workington 12. So a much better effort from Workington in the first half than they had against the Saints at the weekend. But it's going Oldham and Warrington's way at half-time in the matches being played elsewhere this Good Friday afternoon. But they come no bigger than this. The Saints against Wigan, a match to savour, an occasion to savour, and the crowd being royally entertained by the players of both sides. The Saints 14, Wigan the champions 16, but Wigan know this Good Friday they are in a real battle. We'll have the whole second half next.
Watch Sky's coverage of the Rugby Super League and take part with your own fantasy team. For full details on how to enter interactive rugby, see Fast Text page 113.
Got a hunger? Gotta have a Snickers.
Hello, Michael Casey, B&Q Longstone. Can I tell you about something we're doing B&Q just now? It's called Key Season Price. What it means is a seasonal product that you want to buy now at the lowest possible price. In fact, we feel so confident about it that if you can get these products for less, we will refund double the difference. I've been at B&Q now for about 5 years, and we've never had a better offer. I should know. I'm a Scotsman.
You can do it when you B&Q it.
When indigestion starts, settle it down with Settlers. Settlers bring express relief. Settlers bring express relief. Settlers bring...
Sometimes things can weigh on your mind. That's when, from time to time, some of us just can't sleep. But don't worry. Nitol can gently help you fall fast asleep. And when the morning comes, you'll have an appetite for the day ahead. Good mornings follow a good Nitol.
Life was a problem for Dave. Should he wear these or these? Should he live here or here? Should he be with or... Oh, Dave dithered and went nowhere. Until the new Toyota Paseo. Fun, but functional. Spacious, but sporty. Stylish, but strong. It's nice to know what you want, isn't it, Dave? 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 The new Toyota Paseo.
When Jenny and I first moved up from London, we knew nothing about keeping sheep. Everyone thought we were daft. Well, they would, wouldn't they? I'm an engineer. I don't know, in a way you could say I brought the city with me. Only now it's on my terms. There are times with some jobs when you actually have to be there. Freedom isn't about geography. It's a state of mind. For me, it's here. And here. You just have to make it work for you.
ICL, information technology supporting your way of life.
They crossed enemy lines. They paid the price.
I'm not a spy.
Now the military are fighting a battle
Court is now in session.
where the odds are stacked against them.
What do you think we're dealing with here?
Imagine someone who had the kiss of death.
Are you some kind of a fat-sucking vampire?
When you're this desperate to survive, you'll do almost anything. The new series of The X-Files, Tuesday at 9 following Jag on Sky One Primetime.
Welcome back to Knowsley Road. The Saints ahead by 14 points to 16. The Wigan side rather ahead, 16-14 at half-time. And the second half really sees these two magnificent sides battling it out for the points at the top of Super League tonight. Bobby Goulding knows it's an important 40 minutes that lies ahead. Can the Saints come back? Can they take the mantle from Wigan here at Knowsley Road? We're underway in the second half. 2 points the gap at half-time. First drive of the afternoon from Simon Horton. He plays the ball to Martin Hall. Mick Cassidy is there. Hall again at dummy half.
Sensible running by the hooker. Wigan quite happy just to cart this ball forward. They'll hang around and wait for the mistake. They've got that 2-point advantage. But it's strong defence by the Saints. They will be fired up.
Farrell it is on a diagonal run. And it's now a question of how Wigan will bounce back. They were under the cosh for the closing quarter of an hour of that first half. It's a high-hanging kick. Oh, well taken by Prescott, and he immediately launches an attack. But it's a one-man band at the moment. He's on his top. He might not need anybody else. It's a sensational run from Prescott.
What a wonderful run. He went round Sean Edwards as though he wasn't there. Well backed up by Joint. Offside, the referee's seen it. He played the advantage. Wigan did not get back the full complement of 10, and this surely will level things up. Bobby Goulding will take it. Beautiful run. He takes this, not happy with it. Determination. He goes round Skelett, but look at that. Edwards didn't see him. Oh! He came back well, though, did Edwards. Give him full credit for that. Turning defence into attack.
Bobby Goulding then is bang in front. This will level the scores right at the start of the second half. Exactly what Goulding and Saints wanted. The flags go up and the scores are level. It's all to play for second half now. 16 all.
It's all about taking your chances, and that 2 points could prove vital. It'll lift their confidence. And now surely the Saints will kick Bobby Goulding right into the corner. They'll try to turn this Wigan team around. Important now that Saints get their chasing game spot on.
Well, the Saints have not beaten Wigan in any game since their 1993 victory in the Premiership final. But is the pressure telling on this Wigan side now?
The youngster Smythe makes a big meal of it. It was a wonderful take there by Paul. And maybe the fancy work from Henry Paul was his undoing. Maybe he should have held on to that possession, got up off the floor.
Smythe's first handling error, and it puts the Saints in the driving seat. This is Chris Joint spinning. Joint going for the line himself. So close, Chris Joint. Cunningham, Goulding, the ball was stolen from him, but it went forwards off the Wigan man. It's going to be knock on, head and feet, surely to Saints. It is.
Well picked up there. You could see that Andy Farrell's hand came to it. Now, if that would have gone backwards in a new rule, that had been play on. Farrell could have dropped on it, but it was a knock-on. Well spotted by Cummings then.
Here's McVeigh relishing this first encounter against the old enemy for the Saints. 12,000 miles, a long way to come for a match like this, but it's worth every step of the way. Hammond held up.
Will they do the run around? Bobby Goulding's calling. The tactics are on.
Cunningham gives it to Pickavance, bounces off one and gets the try. He bounced Henry Paul off him and he spun and he got the ball down. Ian Pickavance, his first try in Super League. And what a time to score it.
Well, the days when substitute were often classed as second rate have gone. That was a tremendous barge there by Pickavance. He made a great run late in the first half, but look at this. Henry Paul, get out of the way. The crowd, they raise. Oh, wonderful stuff. That is great upper body strength from Pickavance.
Well, Ian Pickavance, he's mixed 6, came back against Workington. He was out of the side since the Regal Trophy final against Wigan. But he's got a 3-year deal locked away safely in his cupboard back home. And Ian Pickavance with that try gives the Saints the lead for the first time. Goulding with the conversion, drifts it over the bar, turns to the crowd here and says, come on! And he says to his players, let's calm down now.
Look how tight the defence is, and this is how a forward should run onto the football. Bump! Goodbye, Paul. Wonderful stuff. You can see the fans in the background there, going bananas again. The tension here is unbelievable.
Goulding restarts then. St Helens now with a 6-point advantage. The second half of this match has gone according to plan. Henry Paul.
Wigan
is Martin Hall.
Wigan will have to dig deep now. The experience of Sean Edwards really has to come to the fore. They won't rush. They will still go through the game plan. There's plenty of time. But they know with tackling like this from the Saints defence, it is not going to be easy.
On the halfway line with Twiggamala or Wigan. The Saints next up against Leeds at Headingley. I think earlier on we said that the match on Easter Monday kicked off at 3. In fact, it kicks off at noon. Noon at Headingley for Leeds against the Saints. And the Saints could be top of the table Monday. But Wigan have still got a lot to say about that. Danny Arnold fumbled the ball then, but he knocked it back towards his own line, so it's play on.
Definitely knocked it in the backward there. You can see he's facing his own line. He even had a second attempt at it, but that's okay. Well, we saw the kick from Paul. It's the tactics that I expected from this Wigan outfit.
Cunningham taking them on again from dummy half. That's been so important. Let's hear from a man who's desperate to get into the Super League scene. Alan Hunt, he's downstairs with Bill.
In the Saints dugout, Alan Hunt, in fact, in radio contact with Saints coach Sean McRae on the other side of the park, and I should imagine the man on the other end of that walkie-talkie must be very happy, Alan.
Yeah, he's very happy with the way we started this half, but Wigan, the class act that they are, the message has gone on. If we go to sleep just for 1 minute, they'll punish us, so we've got to concentrate for the rest of this second half, and hopefully we can keep this lead now.
What was the message at half-time in terms of strategy?
Basically, we've got to calm down. We were pushing the pass a bit in the first half and play out of sets of 6. It doesn't matter who you play, if you play out in sets of 6, teams will struggle. So the second half, we've gone out there and we've started to do that, and we're reaping the benefits at the moment, but we've got to do it for the rest of the second half.
Thanks, Alan. Reaping the benefits indeed. They've scored 18 points, St Helens, without reply so far. 22-16.
That's the type of run that we're going to have to look for. Skerrett leading the way. Here's the kick again.
Underneath it's Arnold. He takes it cleanly that time. 8 minutes, second half gone. Arnold sets off on another run. Well, we've had some rich entertainment in Super League over the past 7 or 8 days, haven't we? Began in Paris a week last Friday. We were in London last night. And here we are again today on this Good Friday, and Saints against Wigan, the top of the tree. But let's not forget that it also is about the other new team in the game, that's South Wales, and Mike Nicholas has asked us to point out that they have a change of venue for their match. Meanwhile, this is Scott Gibbs, a Welshman, and that is a man, Gary Connolly, coming across to cut him down. Goulding to Northey. Back to that Welsh news for you in a moment when I can take a breath and take my eyes off this match for a moment. Goulding, a long raking pass to Newlove. Newlove on the inside is Sullivan, and in support was Goulding, who drops the ball, and Cassidy says thanks. Off goes Cassidy.
Oh, a dodgy pass from Cassidy there. Oh, he's lost it. It's interference. Got to be a penalty to Wigan.
And it is.
Bobby Goulding bombed a chance there. The Wigan defence was stretched. Most of them were going in the backward area. That's the reason why the penalty will go to Wigan. The pressure is off.
While there's a breath, Steve-O, can I just say that South Wales match, so important to the development of game in South Wales, has been switched to the Morpher Stadium in Swansea Monday night at 6 o'clock. And it's Bramley who are the opposition for the new team in South Wales. It's all about the new boys, but it's also about these two of the biggest in the game, Saints and Wigan, and what a match they're producing for us here.
Great defence.
Linsky gets it back to Twiggamala. He sees a gap behind the defence. Goulding's after it. The ball's spinning away, and Goulding picks up, and Twiggamala over him, and that must have been... He must have felt as though the sun had gone out then, Bobby Goulding.
But he did the right thing. He didn't even attempt, even though he had a man behind him. He made sure that he put his body between the ball and the onrushing traffic. What a pace. Can they just keep it up?
Well, it's unrelenting. It's a perfect day. Conditions superb for the Super League. And we've been saying for a while, this is what it's all about. And this is what it's all about. As Cunningham sidesteps past Radlinski. It's going to be a magnificent try. It is for Danny Arnold, who gets the hat-trick. Cunningham's run produced the opportunity, and Arnold kept going. And they're dancing on the terraces. They're blowing kisses on the pitch. And Arnold with a hat-trick of tries.
It's that man McVeigh again. The strength, look how he gets the ball away here. The second effort, that's what it's all about. Cunningham says, let's get on with it. What a superb step. He did the right thing. He knew he had a man on the inside. Tremendous positioning by Danny Arnold. But this guy, what a great game he's had. Second effort, let's keep it alive. Look at the hooker scamper, what a great step. But it's the positioning of Danny Arnold that makes this try. Inside, he called, he gets rewarded. Isn't he a happy guy? Thank you, boy, thank you.
He loved every minute of it. That's a hat-trick in his last 3 St Helens appearances for Danny Arnold on the wing for the Saints. Sean McRae has got a job on his hands to select the winger for Wembley, to select the winger for Leeds on Monday. Alan Hunt's nearing full match fitness. He's desperate to get back on. Joey Hayes also, and Arnold in this rich vein of form. Goulding can't kick the extras. The hat-trick, though, for Danny Arnold. Saints now with a 10-point lead.
Superb run. Cunningham really is a star, but the positioning there of the winger was superb. But put that down for mine to Derry McVeigh again. His second effort, he just denied down the camera. And I get the feeling we're going to see that face down the camera quite a few times this season.
22 points in 18 minutes for St Helens, either side of half-time. Knowsley Road is jumping.
Don't hold your breath. You never write off a team like Wigan. They're not the champions for nothing. The defence has to be like that. It's going to be difficult, but they can produce something from nothing.
Twiggamala, who can always do that for you. But, Steve-O, I get the feeling that there is a belief beginning to flow around and through this team.
The belief has been going around with a lot of teams for a long time, but Wigan produce the goods when they need it.
And it's a kick for the corner from Connolly. Arnold's after it, but the referee pulls them back. Arnold chased back with Smythe. Connolly's kick was for the corner, but the referee has said the pass was forward.
As I said, don't hold your breath. When you've got Connolly and Paul out on the paddock, anything can happen. Pass back on the inside. Look at the step from Paul. Connolly through. I'm not so sure that that was forward. That looked okay for me.
Well, you said in the first half it evens itself up. And that's, I suppose you could call it, almost one against the head, because Shaun Edwards nearly got to that. But Bobby Goulding just managed to retain possession for the Saints. Well, they have not beaten Wigan in any game for 11 matches, League and Cup. They've waited a long time, over 3 years. Is this their moment?
This is crunch time there. Perolini going into Horton. Full bore.
Pickavance.
There's plenty of tries left in this game. It won't be just tightened up. They'll throw caution to the wind, will Wigan now.
Goulding, high kick. In the sunlight, it's difficult for Radlinski. Oh, but he makes it look so easy. That hung, and the sun is streaming down at Knowsley Road. No knock-on against Smythe. Play on.
Full of confidence, Radlinski. Really has come on in the last 12 months. They really have done a good job, the Saints' defence, on the big fella, Andy Farrell. That little time to move, neither with Edwards. He usually sorts things out, but they've shut him down well.
Skerritt comes off to be replaced by Quinnell, Steve-O, while you speak.
And have you noticed, Eddie, that Saints aren't missing the tackles yet? Oh!
Pressure on McVeigh rather, on Cassidy. Oh! Connolly releases the ball to Hall. Still going, Martin Hall. Support there from Edwards. Driven into the ground by Goulding. Connolly again, dummy half. Henry Paul. Wigan aren't finished yet. Chip over the top for Smythe. Diffused by Steve Prescott. That will be a tap on the 20.
The idea is right. You could see there that Prescott was under a lot of pressure. He didn't know what was coming behind him. Took it well.
Some full-time scores for you from the Super League. Oldham 34, Halifax 22. So that's 2 defeats for Halifax in the opening 2 rounds. Warrington 45, Workington 30. Good effort from Workington, who were nilled by the Saints last week. But it's 2 wins in a row now for Warrington. And don't forget, we will see Halifax on Tuesday night at Thrum Hall here on Sky Sports. The game against Castleford. Halifax coming into this match on the back of 2 defeats. This is Goulding. Goulding jinking and dancing his way. Release the pass. Play on.
It was never on.
No.
Goulding should have gone for the kick. That would have been a much better option. Little bit overconfidence coming into it there when he could have gone for the position. Okay, the idea is there if you're losing, but you're winning 26-16. You don't have to force the pass. Wigan have got to.
And that's what they've just done. And Sullivan, I think, has come up with the knock-on.
Fingertips from Sullivan, I think. Yep, lost it. This will be a Wigan feed. Pressure is building. It's a second error from Anthony Sullivan at a vital time, nearly midway through the second half. Now, what can Edwards produce?
The pass to Henry Paul, first of all, then to Radlinski. St Helens have moved up in a straight line. Good defence at the base of that scrum by the Saints. Pickavance moved in for the kill. Robinson, O'Connor. The Wigan forwards so often have out-muscled opposition, but they haven't been able to out-muscle the opposition so far today. Farrell with a driving run down the right-hand touchline.
How many times have Wigan loved to prove you wrong, Eddie? They're not out of it, I mean this.
They are not. Connolly injects the pace, gives it to Smythe. Smythe, all wrapped up by a desperate St Helens defence.
Tremendous cover defence from the Saints.
Edwards gets the kick in straight into the arms of Goulding.
He won't bother to run. He'll make sure that possession, he knows it's vital.
Andy Northey now taking on Simon Horton on the halfway line.
He was caught napping there. The Wigan attack should have been in support of Edwards. They've lost the plot completely.
Perolini. Pickavance gets away from Twiggamala. Pickavance picks up the legs, looked on the outside, looking for Sullivan, and saw the figure of Jason Robinson. This now is New Love. Oh, and Cassidy with a vital ankle tap. They're rolling forward, the Saints. Backhanded pass into the arms of McVeigh. Goulding drop goal, extra point, could be vital. The captain taking a captain's part, leading by example. He's been saying after every score to his players, Steve-O, calm it down.
He really has turned into a superb skipper these days. None of the silly play that he used to do over the past couple of years. That is experience, taking the 1 point. And many people in other sports think that people that play rugby league don't have brains. Well, that man knew how vital that 1 point could prove later on in this game.
Yes, it just increases the lead to 11. And Tommy Martin, who has been out of action for a full season, is about to come into the fray here, and they're going to take Carl Hammond off. And Tommy Martin itching for his chance in Super League, and will be coming into a match that St Helens believe, I think now, as we enter the last quarter of this game, that they can win. They've won just 3 of the last 20 over the past decade against Wigan. Is this their moment?
Silly play, though, from Perolini. That's not the best kick, though. He got the penalty. Perolini coming in and just having another little shove there at the second row of Mick Cassidy. But this Saints side, their defence is so solid this second half. It went astray at different times in the first stanza, but it has been superb so far.
Quinnell midway inside the Saints half of the field finds Hall, who finds Edwards, and Edwards looking over the shoulder, looking for the supporting players. They're not there.
They're not wanting to work the Wigan forwards.
Farrell might. Great defence again from St Helens. Sean McRae is drilling this St Helens defence into a very capable unit. Edwards again. Across the face of the play. Calls Connolly in. Connolly steps inside Cunningham. Gives the pass to Robinson. Robinson applied the brakes. Out wide is Smythe, who must score. And Smythe scores. The game's not over yet for Saints. I hope they're not counting their chickens. Smythe brings Wigan as champions back into this match.
You never deny talent. Edwards on to Connolly. Back on. Beautiful dummy. And Connolly comes back on the inside. And from a standing start, look at that. Straight through Cunningham. Beautiful play, though, by Robinson. That was superb. Like a ballet dancer, he just spins out. Look at this. Oh! Nijinsky would have been proud of that. Beautiful stuff.
Rob Smythe with the try then, the substitute. And Henry Paul tries to add the extras, but the ball just floats wide of the post. 27 points to 20. Saints still lead. Changes being made, though, by both coaches. Rob Smythe burst onto the scene last season, did the 19-year-old. At Academy International. He went to Fiji for the Nines. His first Super League try now. And all of a sudden the crowd just go a little bit quiet. The St Helens supporters know that their team is entering a vital phase of the match. Newlove with a wonderful run.
What a great time to produce a run like that. That really does lift the spirits after you've just conceded a try.
2 changes for Saints. Matautia and Martin have come into the battle, and it's a battle royal. Hammond and Pickavance, the men that they have replaced. Here's Matautia. Oh. Well, if Twiggamala's big, the same must be said of him. Cunningham having a wow of a game.
Edwards was offside then, surely, yes. Referee Cummins has picked it up. Edwards should not have interfered. Did not get back to 10. Desperation stakes. You can see Sean Edwards there. Made no attempt to get back. As soon as he touched the man, Stuart Cummings was going to the whistle.
So penalty to St Helens, and Bobby Goulding rightly says they will try and take the 2 points on offer here for the penalty. Big kick this for Goulding. Remember, Wigan just have struck back with the try from Smythe. The gap's only 7 points. He's found the mark. And Bobby Goulding leading by example. It's 29 points to 20. And Goulding has taken control of this situation.
Led by example. A vital kick. A little wink at the fans behind the sticks. Quickly to turn round to his charges and say, the job is still not finished.
Goulding restarts. Simon Horton picks the ball up and runs it back again. The St Helens defensive line moved up as one unit. Smythe, scorer of the try just a few moments ago. Tackled there by McVeigh. Edwards to Andy Farrell. Henry Paul is there, but they miss him out and find Robinson instead on the far side. Gets away from Tommy Martin first time, but not second time. Henry Paul. That's 4 tackles gone. Hall, the dummy half, to Edwards. Quinnell was the runner. Oh, and the referee thought about the penalty and he's given it. He was going to give the penalty against Perolini for the high tackle.
Far too high. Scott Quinnell felt that one right onto the neck. A bad time to give a penalty as well. Well, we've seen little from Sean Edwards in regards to the chip over the top or perhaps a reverse move.
Farrell on the 20-metre line, releases the pass to Cassidy, to Edwards, to Paul. Bit of space for Paul. Closed down quickly by Northey. Dangerous moments here for St Helens as Connolly examines the defence. Thinks about the pass to Smythe, goes the other way. Finds Hall. Twiggamala. Twiggamala, the human battering ram, to within 8 metres of the line. Hall spins the ball back to Cassidy. Desperate defence from St Helens. The Knowsley Road crowd holding its breath. Quinnell on the burst. Quinnell is held up short. Last one for Wigan. And the penalty to Wigan. They've taken it quickly. They don't want the 2, they want the 6. Edwards all wrapped up by Goulding. That's the first one. This is Horton. Horton, oh, he tried to stretch the arm out. Just short. Hall again going for dummy half. He's got it down. That's a try. The referee wants to let the video referee have a look before he makes his decision. So we'll all take another look at this. But for me, they got it down.
I'm sure he did. I don't think he lost it either. You'll see that he plonks it down there with... There's the arm. Nothing wrong with that at all. They know he's going to give this one, I'm sure. It's not lost. You can see that the arm is across it. The downward pressure is sufficient.
So the referee, Stuart Cummins, waits for the decision from the video referee. Here comes the decision. The try's given. 2 for Martin Hall. The Wigan crowd now celebrate. That was big pressure on St Helens, and eventually the defence cracked. And Martin Hall, the Welsh international hooker, comes up with what could be a vital 4-pointer.
Not only pressure for the Saints, but also for the official. The TV official that was adjudicating on that, but he's come up with the right goods this time. Well done by the hooker. It's on the line, and that's sufficient. Does not have to clear the line. On the line is a try, and that's good play. Good strength there by the hooker, Martin Hall.
How many times, Steve-O, does Martin Hall do that? Just come low underneath the tacklers. Henry Paul adds the extras. We're in for a super finish. 29-26. Wigan are not out of this yet.
Well, you're right about the hooker, Martin Hall. He doesn't always get the accolades he fully deserves. He really is a great drafter. He'd be in my team any time.
And that was a great kick-off. It bounced in the field of play.
Well, Saints lost concentration there.
Drop out from underneath their own post now for St Helens. Wigan will get the ball back.
Good thinking by Redlinski. He kept it low, plenty of speed. It has to be a big one from Goulding.
He's got the distance up to halfway. Robbie Paul watching it come over the shoulder. And this is a test now of St Helens. Perolini halts him once, and he's then halted a second time by McVeigh. Robinson. Let's go downstairs to Bill, who's got Dave Fever with him.
Dave, being a physio, knows all about conditioning and how the body can stand up to the strain. Who do you think is going to last this one out?
I think the way it's going, Wigan have suddenly come back on blow again here, and with 10 minutes to go, I'd still put my money on Wigan again.
It's Henry Paul, now Sean Edwards. Here's Farrell, the runner. Suddenly Wigan have got a spring in their step. There's plenty of time. There's only 3 points to gap. Hall, the dummy half, to Paul, to Edwards. Paul again. All wrapped up, though, by Martin. It's play on. The ball went backwards. Robinson slips. Last one here for Wigan. It's with O'Connor, who started the try scoring early on. Hall again looking for the hat-trick. And Steve Prescott took the gamble. And the gamble on that occasion paid off. Well, Dave Fever says his money's on Wigan. What say you, Steve-O?
Well, what a great kick through there, but look at the full-back. I'd hate to play cards with that kid. Talk about Joe Cool. Steve Prescott there, just let it roll, inch by inch. The crowd held their breath, so did I.
Anthony Sullivan takes St Helens over halfway. On a warm afternoon like this, and in a match of this intensity, fitness holds the key now as we enter the last 10 minutes of this match.
Fitness and possession. Starve the opposition. St Helens have got that 3 points. They have to play out the full complement of 6. Use the kick.
There it is from Goulding. Prescott's looking for it. Radlinski missed it. A dab through by Martin. It's going to be a dream for Martin. And it is a dream for Martin. Tommy Martin back in the Super League. First time in 12 months. And Tommy Martin, has he come up with a try that'll win this match for Saints?
Wonderful play. You work your 6, and you could see that Goulding used the referee well. Redlinski wouldn't have seen that until late. And Martin, it popped up beautiful. He had to bend for it. But Bobby Goulding, what great skill. He aimed this at the referee. That meant that Redlinski would only have seen that ball very, very late. This guy didn't. He snatches a try. What a moment for Martin.
One of the characters of this St Helens side. Out since last May. He has been out for an entire season. And has he just stepped into the breach for St Helens to win this match for them? A 50% success rate for Bobby Goulding. This is bang in front. You'd put your house on the Saint skipper kicking this. Safe as houses. Bobby Goulding knows that they're on the verge of an historic win.
See how he used the referee so intelligently there. Redlinski just couldn't get through it. It was a good chase. Tremendous stuff.
Well, Tommy Martin, a dream for him. Returned against Hull in the Lions football last week. That's the reserve team. And here he is now catching all the headlines against the champions and putting St Helens in with a real chance now in the last 8.5 minutes of going on and winning this match. A match that has gone one way and then the other. Andy Johnson, number 17 there playing the ball, is on for Wigan.
Full credit to St Helens. Wigan normally when they bounce back get the opposition getting a little bit jittery, but full credit to the Saints. They showed a lot of composure, and to bounce back, that beautiful kick from Bobby Goulding.
This is Henry Paul, wrapped up by Northey. The attendance just under 16,000 here at Knowsley Road this afternoon. And they have been treated to a battle royal. Quinnell is after Prescott, and Prescott, who is limping, sets off on a brave run. That's a zero tackle. St Helens have got 6 more to go here with Sullivan.
Well, you've got to question the Wigan fitness there. It was only Quinnell that did the chase. Normally Wigan have about 4 or 5 involved in the chase, but only Quinnell was up.
Oh, Twiggamala missed the tackle on Cunningham. Cunningham's had a great game. Support there from Joint. Saints rolling forward. Sullivan with fingertip control, and he's hauled down by Gary Connolly. But St Helens relentlessly rolling forward. Newlove, Matautia, just held up. Goulding out wide to nobody. Tommy Martin came in off the wing looking for a short pass. A little misunderstanding between captain and his substitute.
A little bit overconfident as well. Tommy Martin obviously called for that. And Bobby Goulding realising that it's a mistake that they could have done him without. There's a blood bin. Looks like Perolini is coming to the sideline.
Yes, Perolini comes off to the blood bin. And Fogarty will come on for him. Chris Morley is also waiting to come on for Steve Prescott, and Prescott will hobble his way to the sideline, and Morley will come on for him. Now then, who will move back into the full-back role? There is no one there at the moment. Bobby Goulding has dropped back temporarily.
Well, normally you drop Gary Connolly, but you really need someone up front. Still time there for Wigan to produce tries, but
Danny Arnold, by the way, Steve-O's gone back to full-back now. He's come back into the line.
And need Connolly to produce something, surely. Oh, great tackle. He pushed him backwards there, did Tommy Martin.
Horton up the middle. Goulding's after him, and Goulding's missed him. Smythe is there. Rob Smythe taking on Arnold. Good tackling. Great tracking back too by Morley, only just on. Edwards, there's a big gap here for Edwards. It was a good job that Fogarty got a hand to him. That's 4 tackles gone. Hall, Henry Paul, nowhere for him to go. Turning, twisting one way or the other. Nowhere. Down a blind alley for Henry Paul. 81 metres they made. Connolly bounces off the post. Who got the hand to that? The referee's going to ask for video evidence again. Another big decision here for the video referee, because that ball bounced off the St Helens post, and who got the hand to it?
I'll have 2 Bob. A Saints man got there first. Here it bounces off, and it looks for mine that Rob Smythe was the first.
Danny
Arnold, sorry.
Referee's just said if it's a simultaneous touchdown, it's going to be a try. It's in the hands of the video referee.
Split second to Arnold. This is going to be a tough one.
It's tough to call. No try! Oh, the St Helens fans celebrate the video referee's decision. It's a goal line dropout. Arnold got the hand to the ball first.
I think he's got it right as well. Well done. You see there, just a split second before Connolly.
So, we enter the last 5 minutes with Wigan on the charge again. How many twists and turns has this match got? Twiggamala's lost it. It's allowed. It was one-on-one. Morley. Chris Morley, the fresh legs. Referee wants a word with Quinnell, who's going to the bin for something he said. And Scott Quinnell says, me? It was something that was said about the stealing of the ball, and Quinnell is in the sin bin, or is it Farrell? Andy Farrell goes to the sin bin, not Scott Quinnell.
And I think Andy Farrell actually went up to the referee and said, I think you've got the wrong man there. No wonder Quinnell looked confused.
He definitely pointed to Quinnell, but as you say, Farrell seemed to go up and have a word in the referee's ear. And Farrell, the man who takes 10. So he won't come back. Wigan will play out with 12. And they defend this run from the tout here. Here's Morley. They have the scent of victory in their nostrils now, Saints. Goulding. Northey and Goulding. Long pass, into the arms of Twiggamala, and there's Robinson. But the Twiggamala-Robinson combination hasn't quite worked today.
The defence has been very good there. You can see Tommy Martin move up quickly. The defence was good. Sullivan was in there helping. Well, it was a problem in the first half. Saints missed so many missed tackles, but they haven't done it this half. This has been a tremendous performance by both sides. The crowd should give both sides a standing ovation. They have run themselves to a standstill.
That ball bounced forward. It will be a knock-on against Wigan. Horton, I think, just got fingertips to it.
The chance was there, the delayed pass from Sean Edwards. They look down and out to the Wigan crew now. This crowd underneath us is going absolutely wild.
234 tackles by the Saints to 189 for Wigan. Missed tackles creeping up on both sides. Saints have broken the defensive line 5 times, Wigan 9. The Saints have carried the ball up into the tackle 144 times, Wigan 171. And handling errors 13 to 16, that's a statistic that Graham West would not like in his favour. Goulding gets the pass away to Northey. Northey wins the match for St Helens. That's it. The Saints have won. They are home and hosed. It has been one almighty effort. The crowd chanting easy, easy. It has never, ever been that. But my word, this is a day when perhaps St Helens believe they've come of age.
Good work by the forwards. Goulding spinning the ball out wide. I'm not so sure he used the shepherd there. It was allowed by Cummins. But Andy Northey, he set sail. He wanted the 4 points more than the Wigan's defence wanted to stop him. That looked a bit dodgy in mine. Sean Edwards won't be happy with that attempt, but he won't mind. He's just won the game for the Saints. Look at the determined run here. He's already beaten a poor attempt from Edwards. Look at the crowd in the background.
Andy Northey, the man who has won this match for St Helens, but it hasn't been a single-handed effort. It has been a lot more than that. Northey with the try. And Goulding has tagged on the extras. Flags go up. They are celebrating all round Knowsley Road now. We're in the last minute. 41-26. Saints have won. And Steve-O, what will this do, first of all, to St Helens, and second, what will it do to the Super League now?
It has blown it wide open. I did tip them before the season started, the Saints. They've let me down so many occasions, but this time they have proved their mettle. Wigan's forward power has been oppressed.
And there's the full-time siren, and St Helens are dancing all over Knowsley Road. They have won a quite magnificent contest against their old enemy. The moment St Helens and their coach Sean McRae must have dreamt of overnight. The moment that the St Helens crowd must have dreamt of, but hardly dare believe was possible. And Bill Arthur now has got the victorious captain, and what a match he's had. Bobby Goulding.
Bobby, when you were ahead in that game, I noticed you were trying to calm the players down. You can let rip now.
Oh, we can certainly let rip. But like I say, we come into this game, and no matter the outcome today, these are the two champion sides in the Super League. You can't take it away from Wigan. They'll come back even stronger.
But before the game we spoke about last August, when you were up for this game, you lost 52-0. There was never any danger of a repeat of that, was there?
No, we've worked really hard. We've been focusing in on this game for a long, long time when Super League was first drawn. And we've said that we want to go to Wembley unbeaten. Teams in the past have gone to Wembley and been beat. We don't want to do that. We want to go on a good run.
Well, you're really shaking Super League up now, haven't you? Saints obviously mean business.
We've seen nothing yet.
This must be very tasty.
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. And these spectators are absolutely magnificent. We never do the Wigan walk. We're here till the end, even if we're getting beat.
Thanks, Bob. Well done.
Mate.
He enjoyed it, I think. We ain't seen nothing yet, says Bobby Goulding. Well, we have seen a spectacular match that has lit up Good Friday here at Knowsley Road. And 41-26, a superb game.
Kick back as we unwrap this Easter's live action, opening at 5:30 with today's football special. Middlesbrough play host to Sheffield Wednesday, and both teams are straining to pull away from bottom. Sunday at 3, Rangers meet Celtic in the Scottish Cup semi-final. With Celtic once more equal to the task, it's been a season of awesome Old Firm derbies.
That was tough.
And now the Scots Giants are at it again.
Quite incredible!
On Ford Escort Monday Night Football, Blackburn v Newcastle. Who has clipped the Magpies' wings?
Ferdinand almost got a second bite.
Can Newcastle resume normal service in time to grab the title? The big games this Easter are live on Sky Sports.
Io mi rimetto qui, perché la televisione non la guardi, va bene? Non la guardi! Stanca! Ascoltami, guardami! Ma perché? Cavolo di te! Te le butto! No, che scappino!
It's now 33 with 40 of the biggest hits around. Now 33 with the massive number ones from Oasis and Babylon Zoo. Queen, Enya, Boyzone, Gabrielle and Paul. Eternal, The Canals and Cher. Now 33, that's what I call music.
Did you know that 3 out of 4 of us are having our savings bitten into by the taxman? But not me. I went to TSB.
Yes!
Call for a guide to tax-free savings with TSB. 0500 758 400.
It's new. It's Johnson's Kids Creamy Bubbly Bath with creamy moisturizers that care for even dry skin.
Johnson's Kid, can't you see?
Oh, no, Malcolm. 2 tellies. They must have a few, Bob. Oh, heck, they've seen me. I'll have to go over.
Take them this round, Mum.
Malcolm, you're Mummy's little soldier.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Murphy from across the road.
Oh, I'm Nick and this is Jane.
What lovely names. I knew Mr. Townsend who lived here. He was always complaining of a drafty passage, saucy old devil. So I brought you this. It's from British Gas. You just fill it in and they send you back a free tailor-made breakdown on ways to save energy and save money. You could get your roots done. Look, I'll have to get back. I've left my lad Malcolm on his own. He'll have barrows out and everything. They're just like me, Malcolm. Keep themselves to themselves.
British Gas. Energy efficiency advice.
Bless them.
Shopping, cleaning, ironing. And what thanks do I get?
Thank you.
For me, Pantene has always meant healthy-looking, shiny hair. But now I've discovered something even better. Hair that feels healthy, too.
Introducing new advanced formula Pantene Pro V. Its provitamin B5 penetrates and nourishes the root, while the new formula improves your hair's texture all the way to the tip.
Now even with my eyes shut, I can tell my hair's shiny and healthy looking. Because feeling is believing.
New advanced formula Pantene Pro V, for hair that feels as healthy as it looks.
Lean and Lou bacon from Danepack has less fat and less salt, but all the taste and smell. Nobody knows bacon like we know bacon.
You're listening to 108.4 FM. Now I've got some great news for you DIYers out there. If you're thinking of decorating, or just adding those finishing touches, get yourself down to Texas. You'll be surprised what's new, and with hundreds of amazing bargains, and as much as 30% off, more costs less at Texas this Easter.
A classic in round 2 of the Super League, and St Helens have won it by 41 points to 26. Danny Arnold with a hat-trick, Cunningham, Martin, Picker, Vance, Northey, Goulding, 6 goals and the drop. Wigan had no answer in the end. And what a day for young Danny Arnold, the hat-trick hero.
Danny, that's 7 tries in 2 games. You must have to pinch yourself.
I'm not doing so bad, like, I'm only really filling in for Joey Hayes, like, but hopefully I can keep my spot.
But it's just a question of being there at the right time, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been very lucky, like, especially having the likes of Bobby Goulding. He basically puts the ball in your hand and you score, basically. So I haven't scored any length. It's the door being like 20 yards and inside, but as long as I'm there, I'm not really bothered.
What about playing in an atmosphere like this?
Oh, you can still hear them now. Like, we're talking like 5-10 minutes after the game. We never do the Wigan walk. We're always here. You can hear it for yourself. The crowd today were just absolutely brilliant.
There must have been a time towards the end when Wigan roused themselves, were coming back at you. And the lead was, I think, cut to about 3 points. Getting worried then?
Very, yeah. Personally, I thought we may have burnt up all our energy in the first 10 minutes, like the second half, but we all dug in there. We all did what we were told. We all went man for man, and we really worked hard for this. Like, as soon as Super League was thought of, we thought there'd be 2 teams, us and Wigan, and I think there will be. They're not out the race yet, so we'll see at the end of the season.
Well done. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, they've thrown the gauntlet down to Wigan. There's no doubt about that at all. There's the statistics from this match. Saints 241 tackles. They missed 38 of them, though. They broke through the defensive line 5 times to Wigan's 9, hit the ball up 150 times to 174, 14 handling errors to 17. It only tells half the story, though, and they don't want to go home, the St Helens supporters. This is a day they will remember for a long, long time. They'll remember, of course, Boxing Day a few years ago when they ran in 41 points but only 6 in reply. Today, it was much closer than that. The St Helens supporters said it was easy, easy. It was never, ever that. But Paul Parker, it's been great having you with us on the programme today, and you must have enjoyed it.
Oh, I did enjoy it very much. And St Helens got what they deserved at the end of it, I think.
Well, they did. They battled their way through, didn't they? But you could never write your team off. You could never write Wigan off.
No, I mean, I honestly assumed they was just going to come out and just walk it like they normally do Wigan, but it never happened for them this time. First time for a long time, it hasn't happened for them, I think.
This is a new St Helens side, isn't it? There's a new belief and a determination there.
I think the whole structure, like the new league and everything, it's given it more than the word oomph, I think, really. Starting from there, really. So could be talking about new champions at the end of the season.
We shall see. Not a bad adjective to you, Steve-O. Oomph. A lot of oomph in the Super League.
It sure was. There's plenty of oomph out there this afternoon. It was a tremendous game. Full credit to both sides because they really gave it all they had this afternoon. But the one thing that really pleased me was the fact that the way that St Helens used their strong forwards, they really took it towards the Wigan side. And their defence, second half, they made far too many missed tackles in the first half, but they sorted that out in the second.
You've got to take your hat off to Sean McRae. I mean, he has come in here, he has taken on a very useful side that Eric Hughes left him, but it's 7 wins out of 7 now for McRae. He doesn't know what it's like to lose.
Well, we always said that St Helens perhaps needed a little bit more discipline, especially in defence. Well, you can't get better than an Australian coach. They know all about the defensive qualities. But I think courage is also a word that we should use for St Helens today. We talked about the fact that Wigan came back. They were not allowed to play well. Don't let's say that Wigan just didn't play well. They weren't allowed to. The defence was moving up very, very quickly. 3 points, they still had the stars to get them to that position. And we said it in the first half, normally Saints just fall apart. They didn't. They fought back and won easily.
Well, the main battle won by Wigan, of course, but let's take a look now at the personal battles that Steve-O picked out for you at the start of the game. St Helens have won it here on Good Friday. The Saints have won, and there's the Chris Joint Andrew Farrell battle, Steve-O. Well, and Joint by a mile, I think.
Yeah, you don't have to be Einstein to work out there. Look at that, 34 tackles, 14. But it was in the second half that Chris Joint really made some great breaks, important breaks. Good runs on the blind side, a couple of runs from dummy half when Wigan were going backwards. Good thinker.
And now the centres, Newlove and Connolly, two of the best in the world, and this was a real battle, this.
So much so that neither player really got into his stride. They were too defensive orientated. They just singled each other out and cancelled each other out. And as you can see there, they were pretty evenly matched. But it was a game that was not allowing the three quarters to get it out wide. The forwards didn't work hard. We saw Wigan against Oldham last week. They really used their forwards, made the springboard for the three-quarter line. Today they weren't allowed to. You've got to have that hard work in the forwards. And I said it before the season started. I said that Wigan would struggle with depth with their hard-working forwards.
And they have struggled a little bit here today. Paul Parker, the psychology of sport these days is so important. What do you think this win will do for the St Helens side now and the players?
I think it's done quite a bit, and looking at their reaction after it, I think it's done quite a bit for them. And I think they're going from strength to strength myself from here.
The only thing that you would say about St Helens in the past is that they have come up with great wins like this, and then they've gone somewhere when they're expected to win and they've lost. Perhaps not so this time.
I mean, you said there was a difference about them, and I think that could be a difference this year. We're looking them out there anyway. I mean, I couldn't write them off now after that performance anyway.
No, no one would write St Helens off, but you will write Wigan off at your peril, Steve-O.
Oh, no, you can't do that. I mean, look, they're a class act. The mere fact that St Helens and their coach got it right. They shut down Edwards, and if Edwards is not controlling the show, then you always have a chance. But you've got to tackle hard, and they did that, especially in the second half.
Super display, great match from two champion sides. Coming up after this on Sky Sports on Tuesday now in the Super League, we'll be live and exclusive at Thrum Hall for Halifax against Castleford. 7 o'clock Tuesday night. Thursday at 9 we'll reflect, I'm sure, this St Helens Wigan Classic in boots and all. Thursday at 9 o'clock when we also look ahead to round 3 of the Super League. More action to come next Friday. We're just down the road at Wilderspool for Warrington against Halifax. Warrington 2 out of 2 wins. Halifax 2 out of 2 defeats so far. Next Friday at 7. And Oldham against Leeds next Saturday evening. We're back at Watersheddings though with Oldham. We'll be on air at 5:30 for Oldham against Leeds. The Super League continues apace, but what a good Friday this has been. Thanks, of course, to Paul Parker for being with us here this afternoon. England and Manchester United. And Dave Fever, of course, the old Wigan physio, now at Old Trafford out there on the pitch with Bill. Steve-O and I are off. We are breathless. I'm sure Saints are too. Bye-bye.
Sky Super League coverage is sponsored by The Times.
This living room wasn't worth living in. This greenhouse used to be white. This lighthouse used to be dark. Once, a perfect finish meant at least 2 coats. New Dulux Once gloss and emulsion covers beautifully in only 1. This dressing room was sky blue. This bookcase was red all over.
Switch to a network where everyone gets inclusive minutes. Call 0800 80 10 80.
I told you to clean your room. What are you doing?
I'm making a movie.
Of what? Your boring little life?
Yes, but it's not boring.